Before Dr. Dre and N.W.A came onto the scene, hip hop had a different sound. Did Dr. Dre and N.W.A change the game forever on how music was recorded, the type of content and everything? Because honestly, when they came into the game, niggas with attitude, that alone changed the idea of how, okay, I don't really gotta talk about this positive stuff, I can do me.
But Dre was
then they brought
about production though. I mean, it was the music quality that Dre brought about it.
My initial question, we're gonna start here. N.W.A and Dr. Dre changed hip hop forever. As far as content, the sound, and because like I said, it was positive before, and then it changed to when they called gangster rap. Did they change the art form forever?
Well, gangster rap evolved with what we dub now with N.W.A. Like I said, is because they was really speaking on what they was living. Compared to if you're on the East Coast, when Jonin, playing the dozens, but they turned into rap battles. It was, but still getting the message out. It's different. But they was really talking about police killing us as a whole. But they wasn't saying, but they was the first on a major platform. But the first one to bring it to light is Ice-T. When he was talking about cop killer and all these other things and stuff like that. Like right now, the #1 DJs that's in New York are either from Houston, Texas, from California, but they New York and stuff. So when you look at the Green Lanterns and all these cats like that, they've been around for a long time and stuff. But it was N.W.A took it to a whole nother level because they used the Raiders format, the marketing. Just like Run DMC used Adidas, okay? It's, before Adidas and Reebok merged, they was the first, 1986, 87 is when things changed. Run DMC, that's who I got my start with. They wasn't they was saying what was going on in the hood, but in a politically correct way. They merged hip hop and rock. N.W.A was raw with it.
I think just even the name of niggas with attitude.
Scary MTV.
It's gonna give you. I mean, they give you just on a mental level. It's alright to say nigga, and you just alright to have attitude now. You can do what you want to do with your music. I mean, like that ain't gonna never change again. You do what you want to do. I agree with you. I mean, of course, it evolved, went on further. It started with Ice-T, went on further with Tupac. You know what I'm saying? DJ Quick, Ghetto Boys. You know what I'm saying? Everybody. It blew. And it ain't stopping. If the production wasn't there though, niggas with attitude would never have surfaced and everything. Dre brought that to the forefront. Again, what was being talked about, I mean, niggas was living the same way in New York as they were in LA. Just wasn't out.
They wasn't speaking on it.
They wasn't speaking on it. It wasn't done to a loud level because they were paying off cops in New York. They weren't able to pay off cops in LA. So the fact of the matter is, N.W.A did change the game lyrically as far as like bringing it to the forefront, as my man just spoke about. But as far as the commerciality of it all is Dre's beats. Dre's production is just, I mean, he completely just revamped the game as far as recording and incorporating some of the greatest jazz licks, some of the greatest funk licks that we've ever heard.
World class record.
Finish your statement, then we're gonna keep going.
That's all I wrapped up with. Back to the matter that Dre was the most instrumental entity in N.W.A as far as like changing the game
on the production side. Yes, sir.
I would say, and this is all I have to say, Dre changes the game whenever he drops something new. Absolutely. Every time, from N.W.A to Snoop Dogg to Eminem to 50 Cent to Kendrick Lamar. Dr. Dre changes the game every time he puts something together. So, did he change the game? Absolutely, he changed the game. You know what I mean? But from a more political standpoint, N.W.A was the first time that we saw whatever you want. If you want to call it I know what it is, but if you want to call it the Illuminati or whatever you want to call it, it was the first time that the record label actually put out a product that was geared for us to move in a certain direction. I don't know if people understand, like, you know what I mean, when we was doing self-destruction and those things were put together by the artists and the crews, you know what I'm saying, the different crews that was doing their thing. N.W.A itself was put together as a tool for the later destruction of the rest of what's going on today.
That was my question.
They was a blueprint laid out. They opened Pandora's box where it was now okay to kill niggas on records, You know what I mean? Dude had girls
Everything they have to
on the
start
record,
for.
like anything you could think of. You know what I'm saying? That they opened Pandora's box, and yeah, it'll never be the same again. Never.
Better be careful going outside.
First they always. Sorry, but no. First and foremost, today is September 7th. Happy birthday, Eazy-E. Happy birthday.
R.I.P.
Rest in peace.
Hell yeah.
I would like to say that yes, they changed the game together. However, Alonzo Williams from World Class Record Crew, World Class Grandmaster, gave all those guys a shot. Battle Cat,
Yes, sir.
who produced Corrupt's We Can Freak It, which turned hip hop R&B, gangster R&B to a whole different. All right. He also gave Dr.Dre, N.W.A, and Eazy-E. All right, all those cats developed from the World Class Record Crew. I would like to say that this music was already out, but you could only buy it in the Compton swap meet. You had to go to the Inglewood swap meet. We had to go to the Gardena swap meet to pick it up. What changed the game was when Gangsta all right, came out. And they were able to go from the studio, if you notice, if you listen back, that only had a studio mix. There was no master. They went to Greg Mac Attack Mac on 1580 K-Day. And they went from the studio on air same day.
Yes, sir.
That was the dynamic that changed. That music had already been there. All right. Big L was talking of that before he got, rest in peace.
His demise,
But
right.
he's got some hard hitting. All you got to do is just go back and listen. Gangster rap has been there.
Right. So this dude said battle tap, right? I don't know nothing about almost anything.
He used to be LL Cool J's DJ,
But what I want to say is
Right.
N.W.A was 1980s, right?
80s.
Like 80s or 90s.
Yeah.
Right. All right. So that's when they were talking about the real stuff about us shooting each other and all that, right? The stuff that we talk about now is Pop Molly, you know what I'm saying, smoking, what's that stuff, syrup and all that. That's what we talk about now, right? So I believe it wasn't like negative. I just think it was more of like being aware of what's going on in the streets. You know what I'm saying?
I agree. They were fighting back on wax.
But yeah, that's what it was. And it actually didn't.
Right.
I want to take it on a different platform, kind of similar. It was the same game said. And everybody touched on it a little bit, but we got to realize that this was a higher power. When I talked about the business part of it, the release of N.W.A and Dr.Dre and the whole team was a business decision. Now, a lot of people, you do some research. Huffington Post did an article on it like maybe 3 or 4 years ago where they were talking about the Republican and Democrat parties funding prisons, which promoted record labels. The record label owned both part of the prisons and part of record labels. And they came up with a strategy to say, kill, kill, kill. The more people that get killed, the more people that come to jail. It was a cycle. But people miss that. And that's what you was talking about. It leads to the destruction of how we're dealing today. Everything that's going on when people are killing and listening to this and that, it is sort of influenced by music. Because if music is our release and what we're listening to, just imagine what these kids are taking from it when they're tuned out. Because they don't talk no more, they're on cell phones. So they're into the music more. They listen to the music and they play video games.
That's it.
They're tuned out. So I believe that, yes, that was a great thing, that N.W.A came out, Dr. Dre, the whole movement. I agree with that, it was great music, but it also led to sort of the destruction and the influence where music went today.